The reason your business isn't scaling isn't what you think. I hear from so many women, my business is stuck at six figures. I can't figure out how to get to 1 million. And I think it's because I didn't raise capital and I see other people in my industry who raised capital. Or my parents weren't entrepreneurs. I'm the first one in my family to have a business. I don't think I can get this up to 1 million. Or they say something like, I think I need a better funnel or I need to improve my marketing. But in fact, none of these things are the reason that their business is stuck. And before I tell you the four things you have to get right to get to 1 million in revenues, I want to say if you're watching and you are at six figures, that's already very impressive because for women run businesses, just 12% of us ever get to six figures in revenues. So if you've broken that $100,000 mark, congratulations. Now I want you to keep going. Don't get stuck there. There's unfortunately a huge, long, dry desert between 100,000 in revenues and 1 million in revenues. Currently, fewer than 2% of women business owners ever hit 1 million in revenues. That's exactly why we started Million Dollar Women. We're helping 1 million women get to 1 million in revenues. And the four things I'm going to teach you today are what we have seen over the last 9 years are exactly what women need to get right in order to build a multi-million-dollar business. The very first one is the most important because if you don't get that right, you can work all day, all night, and never get to 1 million. I see so many women giving up time with family, sacrificing their weekends, staying up till midnight to get things done, fixing all the broken links on the website and invoicing people and doing work themselves that could be done by assistants, all these mistakes they're making. And with this one change, they could make all that go away and be on that path to 1 million. So the number one thing that you have to get right, and I have a whole other video on this, so feel free to go watch it, is to work on your strategy. This is a mistake that I made when I was growing Little Pim, my language teaching business. At first, the first few years, I was just working so hard. I had two little kids at home. I used to get up at 6 a.m., deal with them, go to work, come back, give them dinner, put them to bed, and get right back on the computer and be up until 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning sometimes. But none of that was getting me off the entrepreneur's hamster wheel, as I like to call it, where you're just working so hard but not getting anywhere. We got completely stuck at Little Pim at around 400,000 in revenues. And it wasn't until I adopted these four things that I'm teaching you today that we were able to get unstuck and get to 1 million, 2 million, 3 million. And ultimately, we raised 6 million in venture capital and we sold the company. So the strategy piece is so important. And the mistake we made at Little Pim was we were just too dispersed. And you may be having that problem in your business where you're trying to serve too many clients, you have too many products and services. Maybe you're not niched down enough. Perhaps you're in too many different markets. At Little Pim, the language teaching company, we were in schools and libraries. We were selling direct to consumer. We had licensing deals. We were in specialty toy shops. We were just so spread thin that we really couldn't double down on the things that had the highest margins and were most likely to get us to 1 million. And that's when I joined my first coaching programs, and as part of why I became a coach, because those programs helped me identify the most high margin, high revenue channels that we could be in. And then we started just eliminating some of the things that weren't making us enough money and were big distractions. So the number one thing to get right is strategy. And unfortunately, it's usually the thing women address last. When women call us up at Million Dollar Women, they almost never say, I think my strategy needs fixing. They talk about their websites, they talk about lack of capital, but marketing, but almost never say, I think I need a new strategy. So if that's you, this video has already given you a hint that take a look at your strategy. And if you're not sure where to go from here, reach out to a coach or a mentor. You can set up a call with us at Million Dollar Women, but find someone to help you kick the tires on how you're planning to scale up this business. The second thing is mindset. Mindset is so important for getting to 1 million in revenues because whatever mindset you have now is what got you here. And that's great. You started a business. Most people are too terrified of the risk to do that at all. But to get to 1 million, you're going to need to up-level your mindset. That was one of the main things I had to change when I wanted to get Little Pim into the multi-millions. My parents were entrepreneurs, they were academics, and it was very hard for me to believe that I could build and run a multi-million dollar business. I just didn't have any examples of that in my family. I also didn't go to business school. I don't have a finance background. I was a creative before I started Little Pim. So I had a lot of limiting beliefs that I had to get out of the way in order to picture myself growing this multi-million dollar business. So we've got strategy, we've got mindset, and there are two more that you have to get right to get to 1 million. The third one is team. No one ever built a multi-million dollar business alone. You don't have to have a team of 10 full-time employees with benefits, but you will need to bring in outside help. If you're doing all the jobs in your business still, then that's going to keep you small. There's only one of you, and you're going to run out of time real quick. Plus, the things you're doing should really be outsourced and delegated and automated, which is what we teach in our scaling program so that women can focus on what we like to call your genius work. This is the reason you started the company in the first place. There's something you love doing that you are exceptionally good at. And one of the ways to get to 1 million is to get really clear and focused on how you can spend 95% of your time doing that thing that you're so good at, and not getting dispersed with invoicing and fixing the broken links on the website and social media and all the things that take up all your time and energy. The fourth and final thing is the money. You have to get your arms around your finances. And I know for some of us, this is not our favorite part of the business. I didn't take accounting in college. I didn't have a finance background. So for a while at Little Pim, I was just kind of an ostrich with my head in the sand. Like, I learned the basics, but then I really didn't want to spend too much time on the numbers. And I was like an ostrich because I thought, well, if I just bury my head in the sand, maybe the numbers will work themselves out and I won't have to get involved. This was a terrible plan, and the company almost lost all its funding at one point because I wasn't paying enough attention to what was happening with our cash flow. I don't want that to happen to you. I told that whole story in Million Dollar Women, the book. And I know for a lot of women, that was a wake-up call because they were being an ostrich too. So you don't have to become an accountant or bookkeeper or a finance expert, but you do have to understand the key metrics in your business of your margins, your cash flow, know how to look at your P&L, and to be working with an accountant or a bookkeeper so that you can grow the business in the most sustainable, profitable way. All right, let's just review those four so we can get you to work on getting to that million and crossing the desert. So the first one is strategy. Make sure you have the right strategy. The second one is mindset, because none of these business skills make any difference if you don't have the right mindset. The third one is team. Get the right team around you so you can focus on your genius work. And the fourth one is money. Get your arms around your finances. Figure out how to run your business from a financial perspective, and also think about the capital you need to go big. Probably one or two of those feel really good to you, and one or two are like, oh, I might need some help there, Julia. So if that's the case, reach out to us at Million Dollar Women. We have our accelerator program where we address all four of those through our proprietary scaling framework. You can check it out at millionwomen.com and set up a call so we can learn more about your business. We have cohorts launching throughout the year. So even if there isn't one right now, we'd be happy to get on a call and help you figure out which of those four is what's going to get you to 1 million in revenues. I'll see you back here next time. And in the meantime, stay brave, go big, and cross that desert. We want to see you on the other side.